Hey, good evening everyone. This is Jason and welcome back to Hammer's Workshop. Hopefully you watched my project intro video on my FJ40 Landcruiser. And so on this video I thought I would walk through the roll cage. That's what I'm currently working on. And then we'll get into a little bit of fabrication work, and I think after this video I'll just start posting progress and different other projects that get intermixed with this one. And so with that, let's jump on in here. Appreciate you guys watching today. If you like the video, please hit the like button below, and hope you follow along in the build, so hit subscribe as well. Okay, so you can kind of see the outline of the roll cage. And I think I mentioned before that I had bought a kit from Metal Tech, and the kit pretty much came with all of the parts that you see here, the basic kit. Try to move this slide around so we can see what's going on, hopefully. Yeah. So came with the A pillars here. Yeah, light's bright. And then the B pillars are right here, and then the C pillars are in the back. Came with all those. You can configure the top different ways. I got the extra bars to go across the top. The brace, the A to B pillar brace, that's meant to support a seat cradle, is a separate item as well. Most of the roll cage is 2-inch 120 wall DOM, and it all comes pre-bent like this, stacked up on a pallet. And then you kind of have to do a lot of cutting and fitting yourself to get everything in here. And even though this is for a Landcruiser, you could use some of the tips here to work on any roll cage. But after you see this bent tubing, makes you realize that you could do a lot of this stuff yourself. I actually just bought a tube bender from Rogue Fabrication that I want to do a video on, and plan to do some other projects on the Landcruiser that I'll talk about. You can buy a seat cradle with it. I just chose to make my own here. It supports the 2 Mastercraft seats, and then I've also got the Tuffy box on there. But the kit comes together. I'll turn that light off, it's just too bright. I added this tube clamp here, and then I've got a system in the back, on the back end of this piece, that mounts to the B pillar that can be removed, so you can take the seat cradle out in case you need to get to something, get to the tank, or and by the way, that right there is the stock gas tank location for an FJ40. So if you ever need to get to that, you need to be able to remove the cradle. And so comes with the base plates here, and with a hole pattern that you just drill down through here of your body. One thing to note, and a lot of vehicles might be like this, is the bottom of your floor pan might have some corrugations. And so if you really want a good seat between this and the mount down below underneath, then you might want to fill those in. Another precaution you may want to do is add a rubber mat underneath this to isolate it. But that's why that tube clamp is there. Here's another tip. Turn that light off again. You can see there's a cut in this tube, which I did. It came all in one piece, pre-bent. But when you're trying to fit a lot of parts together, sometimes it makes it easier if you break parts up, and you can trim a little bit off one side or the other to get everything to fit up. The downside of that is you got to put in a little extra elbow grease to weld that and grind that smooth. And when you do that, for like a 2-inch 120 wall tubing like we've got here, you can then get a 1 3/4 inch OD wall tubing and use that to guide everything to make sure it all welds up nice and flush. I added these circles in here just because I I wanted to get a hold of that inner tube, and I thought it'd be cool to make a little design in here when I TIG weld it. I've got the seat out on the other side, so I'll walk around and you can kind of see what the seat cradle looks like. Okay, so I'll try to keep that light out of your eyes. But this is the stock gas tank location for the FJ40. So, and I wanted to leave that, and I might do an auxiliary tank, but as you can see, I've just got everything tacked in, but you have to do some tabs in between a frame that you make for the seat cradle, and these tabs mount to the seats. This tab here is for the 5th point of the harness. Like I said, I just got everything tacked in for now, but with an FJ40, one thing you got to look out for is this is the gas door. So there's a rubber tube that goes from here to here, and you need to make sure your cradle's outside of that. And then similarly, I've got the Tuffy mount to the seat cradle as well, and I'll use some security bolts there. I'll do a review video on this thing. This thing is super heavy duty. Impressed with the quality. Actually, they call these things hip guards. Yeah, you can buy these hip guards separate, and I think it makes it look pretty cool. I like it, and in the event of a rollover, it would be some extra protection for whoever's in it. Go around the back here. Let me show you what the back of this looks like. So the A, the C, B, and A pillar, those are pretty much set by the body, but how you do the other bracing on the sides or on the top, that's kind of up to you. Some people will do like a 2-bar thing. I just chose to go with one and then do some braces, you know, and I think that looks pretty cool. Kind of goes along with some of the other things. Here you can see the back side of that seat cradle. And so here's I just used a pipe clamp. You can buy these pipe clamps off of Summit Racing to fit 2-inch OD or 1.5-inch OD or whatever. I think All Star Manufacturing makes those, and some other people. AA Manufacturing, I think, has some. But that's how I take off the seat cradle on the back side. This would be permanent welded here, but thought that worked pretty cool. And it's got, you know, it's basically 2 pipe saddles, and then I've got a seat over here that's pretty secure. Now the kit also came with the base plate on the back, and it also came with the sandwich plate, which I've cut up. But as you can see, well, maybe you can see that gap right there. So there's these corrugations in the sheet metal, and so to get a good solid mount, I just did some spacer plates in here. Just got them tacked in here for now. What I probably will end up doing, I just got some bolts to line everything up, but I think I'll do a weld washer on top, and that way I can bolt up from the bottom, and I'll just make sure my threads are nice and short here. But at least that way threads won't be down in the fender well to get rusty and whatnot. But anyway, that's the general rundown of the Metaltech FJ40 full roll cage. I think it's going to look really cool. One thing I'm going to do is build with that tube bender I had mentioned. I'm going to build a roof rack that can mount to here. Some mounts that'll be on this, and then you can take them off these mounts and mount it to the top of the roll cage. So you'll have a cargo carrier that can mount to the roll cage without the hard top. And so I think it might be pretty cool for expedition stuff. I'm going to come around over here to the other side, get into a little bit of the frame mounting for the roll cage. And you can do it different ways. Some people may not even, you don't even have to do frame mounts. A lot of people will just mount their A, B, and C pillar directly to the body, and that's good enough for some people. It depends on your use, I guess. But if you're doing some hardcore stuff, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and tie those down. So here you can kind of see what I've done. This is the rock slider here, and I've got these where they can be bolted on, and then this is that A pillar where it comes down to a bushing that mounts on this arm, just to kind of consolidate everything. I think that works out pretty good. Like everything, I've just got it all tack welded for now, but that's how I did the frame mount on the front side. I'll do a review on these rock sliders as well. They're super heavy duty, 4x2 by 3/16 inch tube, and this all came pre-welded, pre-bent. Kind of expensive, but really high quality. The frame mounts were a little weak, so those are custom mounts there with 2x2 by 1/4 inch tube. Since this would potentially have to support half or more weight of your vehicle at one given point, so if you don't want to have this flex too much, you really need some pretty strong supports. Here's the mount for the B-pillar. So there's some a natural, or I should say a stock support that's kind of built into the tub, and so this support kind of bridges over top of that. This will all be welded up. It's just tacked in right now, but that goes down here to a bushing that to a plate that is also bolted to the frame. And I'm going to do a cross member from here over to the other side to really stiffen up the entire system. And then here is the C-pillar mount. Had to be in a unique configuration for a couple of different reasons. Sorry for the light, but this tire is going to be pretty big, and so I wanted to keep that mount as tucked away as I could. So similar type of support at the bottom of the body, and then with the bushing there. So, well, I hope you like that rundown of the Metaltech FJ40 Landcruiser roll cage. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks.